Stellantis, after receiving, I think, is it 15 billion with a B dollars in grants from the Canadian government or levels of the Canadian government, they're now moving their Jeep Compass production originally slated for Brampton to Illinois, which is exactly what Donald Trump promised he would do, is to repatriate the auto sector. We were warned, and instead of doing something to encourage companies to stay in Canada, we haven't done all that much to do it. So CTV News reports that the Jeep Compass, which I didn't realize was still being manufactured, I haven't seen a new one in a long time, is going to Illinois. And Mark Carney has issued a statement on the Stellantis production plans. He says Canada's new government will always be there for Canadian auto workers who are foundational to the Canadian economy. Anyways, together with the government of Ontario and, of course, Unifor, we are working with the company to develop the right measures to protect Stellantis employees and to create new opportunities for them in and around Brampton. Oh my God, are we going to make a LADA, the Canadian LADA in Brampton, just to keep these workers employed? We have further made clear that we expect Stellantis to fulfill the undertakings they have made to the workers of Brampton. And they go on to say the decision is a direct consequence of current U.S. tariffs and potential future U.S. trade actions. Until a more certain trade environment for the North American auto sector is established through the upcoming review of the Canada-United States-Mexico Agreement, CUSMA, decisions on new investments in the auto sector will continue to be affected. God, I wish they cared about oil and gas workers this much.
Or canola growers.
I think the last paragraph is the most important.
Okay,
you need to read that last one.
Okay, on November 4th, 2025, Canada's new government will table a budget that will catalyze generational investment.
New government.
Yeah, the new government will catalyze
generational investment
to build the economy of the economy of the future.
You know what that means? That means our kids are going to be paying for it. Our grandkids are going to be paying for it.
Well, they work
are going to be paying for it.
as nipple greasers on the windmill farms of the future, while ensuring workers and industries can bridge to seize its opportunities. Yeah, so they're saying we're going to bridge you to the new green economy.
That last paragraph is the paragraph that should blow people's mind, because it's just like, wow, we're in big trouble here in Canada.
Well, if they can't make a go of it, Mark, like, correct me if I'm wrong.
$15 billion.
If they get $15 billion in gold bricks and just waste them and can't make a go of the company, is that a company that we want to keep propping up as taxpayers?
It gets a lot worse, because they invested $52 billion into subsidizing the EVs, all but one. So 13 of the companies are either bankrupt, canceled, delayed, except for Volkswagen.
Right.
So listen to this. Listen to this, Canada. I can't wait for this government to give us our new generational budget, knowing the fact that 12 out of 13 companies have either been bankrupt, canceled, or it's just all going to go into the incinerator. For the last decade, they've been investing more and spending less. Look where we are. Doubled our national deficit, more than any prime minister combined. And now we're doing the same as this new government is doing the same as this old government. And they expect us to believe that this time's going to be different. We've seen this story before.
Yeah, Polyev says that it's a tough day for 3,000 Brampton Stellantis workers who just learned that Mark Carney sold them out and let their jobs move to the U.S. after promising to negotiate a win with President Trump. They've been negotiating this win since 2 months before the G7 with President Trump, and giving billions in handouts to the company. The elbows down prime minister got no job guarantees for auto workers. Weak leader, broken promises, lost jobs. And Doug Ford, he's doubling down. For some reason, Let me
tell you a little bit about our sponsor today. I'm going to read from the news that they've given us. Does your immune system feel compromised ever since COVID? A new study published in the Journal of Clinical Laboratory Analysis suggests you may not be in the clear even if you feel fine. Researchers analyzed blood from people who had recovered from COVID and found something concerning. Their platelets, which are essential for healthy blood clotting, were not functioning properly even months after recovery. Other studies have found lingering spike proteins in the bloodstream and organs, causing immune system dysfunction and even mitochondrial damage, whether from the virus or mRNA shots. This is why Dr. Peter McCullough developed Ultimate Spike Detox. This doctor-formulated blend includes nattokinase to help break down spike protein, bromelain to support immune health, and turmeric with black pepper to reduce inflammation and repair cells. Take back control of your health today and head to twc.health/rebel and use code REBEL to get 10% off plus free shipping. So that's TWC, the wellness company, twc.health/rebel, and type in the word rebel as the code to get 10% off. It's time to own your health.
Says this news is a reminder that we need the federal government to stand up for the 157,000 workers in Ontario's auto sector by maintaining tariffs on Chinese vehicles. We need the federal government to work with us to get moving on major projects, including nuclear facilities, mining, critical minerals, shipbuilding. Well, the Chinese can do that. Pipelines and ports that will unlock economic opportunities and create new jobs for workers across the province. Unleash your wrath on this man for the EV tariffs.
Doug Ford, how is this going for you? So another 3,000 jobs flushed down the toilet because you can't stop flapping your gums at the Americans for your perceived slights against you. This is what you get, Doug Ford, for your actions. Auto workers of Ontario, you know that we're with you. We don't want to see anybody out of work. We don't want to see any Canadian family struggling. But this is the predictable outcome of a premier that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And further to that, I'm taking a lot of umbrage with premiers whose only solution is to have their hand out for the federal government. You're not welfare recipients, premiers. You got a way out of this, and it's to do things the right way, which Doug Ford just seems to be incapable of doing.
Does anybody know the size of the auto sector in Ontario?
157,000? Is that what they said?
I want to know the
was
GDP.
That Canadian?
I want to know the GDP.
Yeah, I think I knew that number, but I want to just add something because
Please.
Doug Ford pouring this Crown Royal all over the street. Are we going to see Doug Ford throw gasoline on a Jeep and let it just blow up?
I would love it.
It's like Doug with a tire iron taking out his frustrations on a Jeep Compass.
Hey, I bet you we're going to see Doug Ford. Yeah, a tire iron just start smashing the windows of a Jeep and then throwing some gasoline on it and just letting it burn. You know what? You heard it first here.
It'll make great TV, Mark. It'll make great TV. Oh,
Yeah.
just the
I am
best.
trying to okay. I can't find the exact number, but what I can tell you is that they are selling out the canola sector to protect these EV vehicles. And I just pulled the statistics on it. There are, well, what was it, Lise, employed in the auto sector?
157,000 auto sector employees.
Well, the canola sector, of roughly $44 billion industry, supports 206,000 Canadian jobs.
Yes, we do.
And 65,000 of those are direct family members. So
Yes, we do.
So 1 in 4 people who work in the canola industry are the people who produce it on their own family farm. And those people are being sold up the river to protect the auto sector in Ontario. And nobody seems to care outside of the West. Why? Because the Liberals don't stand to lose a single seat here. That's the problem. We don't vote for Liberals, so we can't have nice things like jobs.
I just want to add that so before it was about 15% EVs were sold in Canada. That's plummeted to between 2 and 8% this year. So what are we protecting? 2% of the sales? Think about that. So yes, I get it. I mean, one way that they could do is negotiate with China and say, hey, we'll let you bring in the vehicles, but we're going to use our batteries, right? In
Sure.
Ontario. So
Sure.
just say, hey, we'll use it. And the most expensive component is the batteries. So we invested tons of money into the battery. So we say, hey, bring your car. We'll put in our battery. It's only 2%. Well, I mean, right now it's 2 to 8% of the sales. So it's not a huge hit to the actual business. And then we're going to be able to get the canola. But the one thing that Canadians aren't paying attention to is that China wants to buy our oil and gas.
Sure they do.
We
Yes.
want your oil and gas. There's 1.2 billion Chinese that want our oil and gas, and all of Asia wants our oil and gas. And if you look at a map, the East Coast and down to the Gulf of America, that's where all of the shipping for the oil and gas. There's
Sure.
barely anything on the West Coast. It's
Right.
and we're close to Asia. We just ship it off and we get it there. So they're saying, hey, we'll buy your oil and gas. That's what we should be looking at. Not only will we get the canola going, we're going to get our oil and gas going. And all we have to do is negotiate the EV thing. I get it. Donald Trump might be like, no, we're going to impose a massive tariff, but at least try to do
Right.
something. And then you could pivot. But you know, the thing is that we reelected another liberal government after 10 years.
The same liberal government.
Same liberal. There's not
Yes.
a new government. It's the same liberal government. And Mark Carney's been advising this government for the last 5 years.
2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the same government.
Yeah,
And-
it's almost as if we have an inept federal government that can't negotiate a trade deal with Asia. Almost.
Right.
It almost seems like that.
No, we sent Anita Anand, one of the most useless MPs ever, to China. Oh,
Yeah.
it's going to go great.
Yeah. Anita Anand and Melanie Jolie.
Yeah,
Like-
that's the best we got. We have 41 million Canadians, and the best we got to negotiate our deals is Anita Anand and Melanie Jolie. Think about that, Canada.
I just have secondhand embarrassment every time they talk. And I'm just like, in the new country, we won't have to be embarrassed by these two women anymore.
In the new country.
In
In
the
the
new
new
country.
country. Yeah.
Look at least she's not holding hands with a terrorist. At least it's Marco Rubio here, which is what Canadians do on diplomatic missions.